take a huge amounts of course fees and they say like after the course, I'll give you 100% job guarantee.
There is nothing like a guaranteed placement.
And the family also asks what you're doing when you're going to get job. You're wasting money in Bangalore or something. And what is your advice for the students who are in this mental pressure?
Tier 2, Tier 3 colleges actually has a lot of talent, skilled engineers. But we are not able to hire them because we have not given them the right skill and the training that is required. And all these people will directly work for Algorithms365 on the live projects till they get the job.
The pressure comes when we are in the final year and then like everyone asking us like what next?
College projects also, they would go somewhere and buy it and compile and show, right? Because of that, getting a job or getting placed becomes difficult.
Why they're not able to code when it comes to the interview? Why they're failing?
Because what is programming? Programming is telling computer what to do. So if you are able to write something, you should be able to visualize how it is going to do it. Electrical or mechanical engineer, can they be a good software engineer? The answer is yes.
Hi guys, this is Akshay from Team Y Media, and today we have an amazing personality with us, Mahesh sir, who is the founder of Algorithms365, who is an ex-Microsoft employee. With the 16 years of experience in Microsoft, now he is on a journey where he wants to give something back to the society. So let's hear from Mahesh sir about the story of Algorithm365 and what is his mission and vision taking this company forward.
Thank you, Akshay, for having me here today. And I'm really looking forward for this conversation. After spending 16 years and my wife also worked with Microsoft. So we finally reached a point where we said now we are financially independent and we can take care of all our needs and our children needs and all. And that question really came back to me that what is that I want to do next? Do I want to keep growing in the corporate ladder? Say, next 15, 20 years and try to see where do I reach? Or should I do something for the society which can have a direct tangible impact, So then I reflected on my life and I see that, I come from a very small town or a village called Ghataprabha in Belagavi. And then I went to a tier 3 engineering college in Balki. It was called REC Balki at that time, which is Rural Engineering College. Now it is BKIT. And I really struggled. After that, I struggled to get into any company. For 6 months, I was not having a job. I came to Bangalore. Then like any other people from that part of Karnataka, right? Try to find which course to join, where to go and pick up the skills. So I had my own share of challenges and joined somewhere, picked up some skills. And then eventually after 6 months, I got a job. But that journey and struggle I never forgot. And I used to always reflect that why is that I was not able to get job earlier? Why is that I couldn't get into good companies earlier? And when I came to Bangalore, I had a lot of interview calls, by the way, because I had a better CGPA or a better percentage. So almost every company shortlisted me for the interview, but I could never clear those interviews. So it took 6 months to prepare myself. And then eventually I joined the company and then got into Microsoft after that as my second job. And I never forgot this story. The second thing is I have a lot of passion for teaching. So be it at school or be it at my engineering college or be it at Microsoft, I really enjoyed explaining things to people. And there were many people, they have told me that, I did a good job explaining. So that thing was there that, I should use this skill. And the third thing I see is I have been to many campuses to take the interviews. I have seen where, the person is good, but person hasn't prepared well for the interview and they are not able to clear the interview. And some of the tier 2, tier 3 colleges actually has a lot of talented, skilled engineers, but we are not able to hire them because we have not given them the right skill and the training that is required. And from the journey where, where India is today or world is today, we have a demand for large number of engineers to solve some of the amazing problems that we'll see. I felt to combine all of this and put it together, bring wealth of knowledge and skills I acquired, use my connection and network from Microsoft and other companies, and then take this skill and knowledge and make it available at affordable rates or nominal fees to a lot of these people who need this help, and see how we can upskill them and provide that talent pool and provide more jobs to youngsters.
That's a very great initiative, I guess. There's something that is a passion you had to teach, and you had also wanted to give back something to the society.
Society.
You've combined this and you have started your own venture or own company called Algorithm365. So can I know what is the mission and vision you have set for Algorithm365?
Provide affordable training and skills to people who are studying engineering or people who have finished engineering, so that they can either eventually start their own companies or go and get jobs in product based companies.
Yeah.
It is more into, say, skilling and then creating more opportunities for people. And the way it has been to be, the way it will be done is going to be slightly different. This will be more hands-on training with, say, open source projects on GitHub. And all these people will directly work for Algorithms365 on the live projects till they get the job.
Oh,
So till they land into a good job, they will all be part of Algorithms365 journey. And this is what I'm trying to experiment and see if we do this way, will it help build a lot of great engineers who can go and transform the world, or who can go and build cool products for in the other companies.
okay. So I guess this, whatever the thing, what you're getting into with, if I can pile it out, you're bringing something you want to give back to the society, but in an affordable education. So if you see, there are many edtech platforms now. Okay, everybody who wants to teach or wants to come in this field. Okay, with due respect, there are many people who say, I have come out from Microsoft, I've come out from Google, I've come out from Facebook and other things, and they start their own edtech company. So how you can differentiate yourself from these people who have come out and they have started their edtech firm, and what differentiate you're going to bring on the table?
This is a very good question, and I've been reflecting a lot on this, and I in fact went and explored all the content that is available. And to be fair and honest, many of them are doing a good job.
Yeah.
And they are really working hard to upskill people. And I don't want to name any one person because there are multiple of them.
Yeah.
There are multiple people who are doing really good job. I think the unique thing or something that I'm trying to experiment with is, since I worked in industry for 16 years, there are less number of people who have been in industry for so long and then come into teaching.
Yeah.
And second thing is, in that 16-year career, I have built a network of my own. So I am connected with people who are in almost every, top company that you can name.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm thinking to see how I can leverage this too. I'll give you a simple example. So when I'm going to teach programming, I'm going to teach them how to write a production quality code. What it means is, this is the code that can be deployed to production.
Okay.
Not this is a code that you run in your engineering lab. Right? So that is one distinction that I can bring. Second is the ability to make trade-offs. See, we have a problem and code can be written, but it can be written in so many ways. Right? So how to figure out how to do trade-offs. For a particular software with particular requirement, maybe this one style of writing will help, where you are optimizing it for time. For a different problem, same requirement, probably you have to write it for a space or storage. So ability to make these trade-offs and decisions, this is one part. The second part, writing code is just the one part of software engineering.
Yeah.
There are a lot of skills other than writing code. Your team skills, your leadership skills, your communication skill, your interpersonal skill. There are whole set of skills that you need to have to be a successful software engineer or a successful leader in software industry.
Yeah.
I would like to bring all of that skills also on the platform. So my vision is, if somebody comes to me, I really want to make sure they are successful in their career and not just initial get a job and move on, right? So it will be an ongoing coaching and mentoring for them throughout their career, so that they can transition from that fresher or junior engineer to senior, then from senior to principal, from principal to partner. So company aims to provide that career guidance and mentoring along the way.
So I have seen there are many people who are bluffing in terms of a edtech company. They're going to upskill students. Okay, they take a huge amount of course fees, and they say, like, after the course, I'll give you 100% job guarantee. At last, what they do is, like, there is a loop inside that. Okay, they give the course for them, they teach the course. At last, they will ask them to sit for the interviews, and they make sure that the students who are participating in the interview, okay, they don't crack the interview itself. And they ask them to repay the amount, and the same loop continues. And they say like, we give you the internships, these, that, all projects. So what difference? One thing which you mentioned is like, you're going to give internship from Algorithm365 as well. So how is the process going to be at Algorithm365, and how a tier 2 or tier 3 city person is not going to be bluffed in this game?
You are asking a very important question, Akshay, and I have come across a lot of frauds in this space. I have one personal story where somebody from my village, a middle class family, one of his relative got him signed up to a course, and they charged him 1.5 lakh rupees, saying that they will get him placed in Microsoft.
Okay.
They'll give training and they'll help him find job in Microsoft. And the document said at the end of training, you will be given a choice whether you want job in India or you want in US.
Yes.
And somehow, luckily, I don't know whether it's luckily or unluckily, the guy knew that I'm working at Microsoft.
Okay.
So somebody gave him my number and he sent the document to me. I said, this is bullshit. There is no company, there is no training institute in the world who can train you and say, I'll get you placed here.
Yeah.
They can make an attempt. They can make an attempt to train you. They can make an attempt to give you a skill. There is nothing like a guaranteed placement.
Yeah.
If somebody is giving guaranteed placement, it means they are bluffing. And if they are charging this 1.5 lakhs and doing this, then most likely they are, going to cheat. So I told this person saying, this is not correct, you should not do. But the person and parents were not ready to get convinced. A Microsoft guy explaining, because it has come from a relative and that relative happens to work in Bangalore.
Oh.
So unfortunately, I couldn't stop them. They went ahead with course. And they were teaching him regular things, and after 2-3 months, the trainer didn't come, the course stopped. And then the parents again came back to our house, and they were saying, no, they had told like this, can you help now? So I said, no, I had already warned you that this is a fake thing. So I have seen this story, and then I have heard from many people where this is happening.
Okay.
See, what is happening is, this market is huge, and people think that I will magically pay somebody money and the person will get me placed. And that doesn't happen. A very simple analogy, right? Say I am hiring you and you expect me to pay, say, 5 lakhs to you per year. Then you should be producing at least 20-25 lakhs for me.
Exactly.
And to do that, you need to have a required skills. And without skills, why would I hire you? So I would request everybody that be really careful about these things and be really careful about these promises. And by default, everybody should assume that there is no guaranteed placement. You are using this organization just to upskill yourself. That is why I was saying that when they join Algorithm365, they'll join us.
Yeah.
We start giving them required knowledge and skill and projects, and they'll continue to work with us, practicing these skills till they get placed.
So during this internship period, or in the period they are there with the Algorithm365, will be they getting paid, or it is like once you get placed, then you pay for me or something kind of?
So currently we are starting from ground zero.
Yeah.
So there is no software product or service that can be right now sold or made some money with. But over the period of time, say down the year, down the 1 or 2 years down the line, we may have some product and service that we are able to monetize.
Yeah.
And once we are able to monetize it, of course we can pay some stipend.
Yeah.
So that they can live in Bangalore and keep trying it. But initial years, I don't think we can pay them anything. In terms of course fees, we are thinking of 2 models. One model is that nominal fees to start with, and then another model where they can pay us after they get a job. Like initially you charge something. See, I don't want to make it absolutely free.
Yeah.
Because if you make it fully free, then, I will not see that seriousness and commitment from everyone.
Yeah.
Of course, if somebody says, they are in deep financial trouble and they need some scholarship and discounts, we'll definitely look into that.
You said right, you're not running an NGO, but you want to do something for the society.
Correct. Because any organization actually you want to build, and you want to build it at a scale, and you want to sustain it for many, many years to come, it has to be run in a cash flow positive way.
Exactly.
Because anything that is a charity, is not going to run that long. Unless, I have made billions of dollars in... Even somebody has made millions of dollars, they will also eventually run out of it, right? So that is the reason that is why I'm not calling Algorithms365 as an NGO. I'm calling it as a for-profit company. It is just the question is how much profit, right? What is the percentage of profit it will have? So that can be, discussed, and that we will intentionally will keep it low.
So who are the right kind of audience or the students? Who are you targeting from this Algorithm 365? Whether they are the students who are into this engineering and some CSE roles, or these are the employees who want to upgrade to next level. Who are the people who are targeting?
So to begin with, I'm going to target people who are in either 7th, 8th semester of their engineering, or they have graduated recently and they are still looking for job. Because that segment is in need of this kind of content and skill the most right now. Because somebody who is already got placed, probably, they have some source of income and they are earning. This is the first cohort I'm going to target and start creating programs for them and start onboarding these people. The second cohort is people who have entered engineering. See, if we can tap into these people who have joined engineering and they are probably in their first, second semester, and tell them what need to be done over the course of next 4 years. So that once they finish engineering, their journey is going to be small. So that we can reduce the journey and maybe some of them get placed even, from the campus itself. So these two cohort is what I want to address first, and then eventually start the career guidance and then see how we can guide people to grow in their career. So this is how I'm thinking about it.
There is a general discussion I want to bring into picture. Okay, if you when you just mentioned like people who joined engineering in the first, second year, I guess even myself and most probably even you, okay, in the first, second, third year, we are not that much serious related to job and all those things. The pressure comes when we are in the final year, and then like everyone asking us like, what next? So how you're going to solve this problem? The mindset of the students itself.
You put it really nicely. See, when we are small, we are told that do hard work in 10th and then your life will be set. Then after that we say do hard work in 12th. After that your life is settled. By the time we come to engineering, if somebody says do hard work in engineering, your life will be settled, we say what the hell? So I think a lot of us get really excited.
After that also the story continues, right? Do engineering, your life will be set. Okay, complete engineering, where is life?
Where is life? So I think we all feel the need and urge to enjoy our college life. And trust me, it creates some amazing memories that I cherish with my friends now. So I'm not saying you should not have fun. You should have fun. But at the same time, reserve some time for coding, especially people who want to pursue career in software engineering. See, coding skill takes time. It is like poetry or, any athletic skills. It is like any skill, and it only comes with practice. And right mentoring and right resources. So once they are in engineering, probably maybe from 3rd sem or 4th sem onwards, I would suggest start writing code and start building something in parallel. Try to build a small application, build a small website, or try to build software for the college that you are studying in, right? And for that, you don't have to lose the fun part. And I'll say something, that may be controversial, but the building software is also fun. The fun always does not mean, you have your partying, right? Fun also means find like-minded people, do brainstorming, discussions, and try building it. The gratification of seeing your code work, the gratification of seeing your application work and do magical things gives you a lot of joy. So even that is also fun. And what we lack is the guidance. For example, I come from Belgaum. So that whole region, right, Belgaum and from the north part of Karnataka, and not just that, the tier 3 college, I have talked to many people, including, I have seen in my, say 18 years ago, I have seen it myself. The lab programs, a lot of people would just copy and type it and try to run. College projects also, they would go somewhere and buy it and compile and show, right? So because of that, getting a job or getting placed becomes difficult. Imagine we transform that to make it more fun, where you just get a lab question and you came up with code yourself and you ran it and it worked. That will also be joy. That will also be fun. projects, instead of buying it somewhere for 20,000, 30,000, you identified a problem in your society or in your college and you created a small app to solve it. That will also bring the joy and happiness. So luckily in my journey in engineering, we built a small bootloader and a small program that this bootloader loaded it. See, at that time I was not, fully matured and understood the depth and breadth of technology. Okay. So we called it operating system. Now I laugh, I laugh about it. Basically, it was a program on a floppy disk. You put the floppy disk, we had a bootloader that would load this program and open a command prompt. And that command prompt, you could, do date, time, then text and print and do some simple operations. Yeah. But at that, it would not load DOS and it would not load Windows. Yeah. So whatever the program we had written, even that was getting loaded and do it. Yeah. The amount of joy and fun and gratification it gave is very immense. So what I'm trying to say is, this can also be a path. And I'm going to make an attempt to go to colleges in Karnataka and share this story and see if I can slowly change the mindset to introduce this culture of writing code in college.
So can you tell me one thing is like, there are so many institutes in the market, right? And everyone are selling courses, okay? And they're trying to learn coding and other skills they are trying to possess. Why they're not able to code when it comes to the interview? Why they're failing?
Teaching coding and learning coding is actually difficult. Yeah. The way you teach another person to write code is actually takes a different type of teaching. And a lot of people, they'll say that they want to teach coding and, they'll explain theory first. They're saying this is array, this is string. And then they open up a program and they'll write the program. And the person looks at that and they'll type this program and they will run. And then you suddenly give them a new program that they have not seen before and ask them to write, and they are not able to write. Because it is not just knowledge. Coding is not a knowledge. Knowledge is something that you memorized and you are taking it out, right? Coding is a skill. So any skill requires you to practice it. And then there are some mental models. The mental model is, say, a simple program, right? Say, I'll say in an integer array, count the number of odd and even numbers. Okay. Now, we need to teach and train people saying, okay, there is an integer array. So since you have to find, it means you have to iterate through the elements. Yeah. So the moment you have to say iterate, then there has to be a loop. If there is a loop, and since it is an integer array with fixed number of element, then you can use for loop. Because you know what is the start and where is the end. Right? So then you got to know that there is a loop. Then you have to count. Whenever you have to count something, it means you need a counter. In this case, you need two counters because odd and even. So you need to have a counter. You need to initialize that counter. And then the third thing is you have to check whether the element is element is odd or even. Yeah. So whenever there is something, say check, it means you are checking a condition. Which means if and else.
If and else.
So you now put a loop, then you put a counter and you put a condition. Now you assemble all of this together and write the code. So initially when somebody is learning programming, it needs that hand holding to teach them to think this way. Yeah. Teach this way so that they develop a confidence. They develop a confidence to try attempting solving programs by writing code. Yeah. And what is happening is, because of so many different reasons in the colleges, what happens is, I'm not saying every college and every organization is like that. Some college and institution, this is what happens. So they have lab programs where they'll say, take this lab program, they give it along with code. So the person's only end goal is output has to come.
And they know the output.
They know the output. So because of that, there is no chance to pick up a skill. And expecting that the college will do this hand holding and help you learn skill probably is also not scalable. So students have to pick up the skill by themselves. Maybe the teaching methodology can be improved. The second important part is debugging. In a lot of the colleges and even institutions, I don't see them teach debugging. Exactly. The debugging is an important skill where you set the breakpoint and you can run the code line by line, so that in your brain you figure out, you develop an understanding that if there is a code, in your mind you are able to understand how this will run. It will be run by the computer. Yeah. Unless and until somebody can develop that understanding how computer will run this code, you cannot become a programmer. Because what is programming? Programming is telling computer what to do. So if you are able to write something, you should be able to visualize how it is going to do it. So that understanding is important. So if we do these two changes, I think programming can be taught to lot many people in a better way, and they can get good jobs.
So now we have talked about the practical things, what they have to implement. What about the mental pressure that students go through? It comes from the family. It comes from the peer pressure. Okay, why? Because people are earning over there. And the family also asks, like, what you're doing when you're going to get job. Okay, why not? You're wasting money in Bangalore or something. I don't know. So how to deal with this mental pressure? What is your advice for the students who are in this mental pressure of getting a job or thing?
This is a very important question. And now reflecting back on my own journey, I can tell you that period from you exit out of the college until you get your job, that period is one of the most stressful period of time that we all go through. And as you rightly said, there are multiple pressures acting on you from family, friends. So when I look back, right, in that period, my father was about to retire in another year or so. And he was sending me, 2,000 rupees at that time per month. And I was already feeling that burden on me, like, he's going to retire and I'm putting pressure on him. So I came to Bangalore, and then I also did a course, this is a little interesting thing where initially I tried to crack coding, technical interviews. That didn't go through well. And some of my friends who are from English medium, they got into call center.
Yeah.
So then I thought, okay, let me learn English and get into a call center. So I also signed up for a English class. Because every time somebody saying do Java, somebody saying do C, somebody saying do testing, and somebody will say, oh no, C++ is gone, Java is gone. So there are a lot of guidance, but most of that guidance is actually wrong. Because we are not networked well enough with people who are in the industry. And I had my stressful time in that 6 months, and some of my friends got job. And then finally I quit. And I went back to Belagav, my hometown. And I told my father that in engineering I used to teach my friends, and maybe I should switch to teaching. Because I'm not getting a job. Then I met my school senior who was in Ghataprabha, and she used to work in Nidsosi. I went to her and said, Didi, I want to come and join and do teaching, at the same time prepare. I was doing this because I was thinking that I'm burdening my parents with that monthly, 2,000 rupees my dad used to send. So I was thinking that I'm burdening them at this age. So I think she mentored me in the right direction. So she told that your parents have taken care of you till now, till you are now 22 years old. Do you think it will be burden for them to take care of you for another few months? This is an important question.
Exactly.
The people who could take care of you for 22 long years, will you be burden and a problem for them for another, say, 6 months? And of course the answer is no. Second thing she told, it's my own story. I also thought like you, and I came to Nidsosi, and every year I think I should go back to Bangalore, and I'm not able to go. So she said, you'll come here and you will feel so laid back, and you will feel so relaxed, and you'll get used to it, and you will have a inertia to go back to Bangalore. So she is the one who mentored me correctly in the right direction. She said, go back and work hard and try for another few months, and then we'll see. Because she said, any day you can come here and join. So that changed my direction in the life, and this is what I would also advise. So one is this, second is find the right mentors. We feel hesitant to go and ask our own friends who got placed.
Exactly.
So that we have to come out of that and apply growth mindset. Go and reach out to your seniors and relatives who have been working in industry. Take people who have already got a job and they are already working. Take advice from such people. Then the last thing is, instead of wasting time with too many trainings and too many things, stick to one thing. Say for example, you have picked up Java. So try to be the best Java engineers at entry level that you can be. Don't try like, React bhi kar diya, then we do testing and then do Java, and then it is not like you will throw multiple stones and see which one will hit. Instead of that, pick one skill and really try to practice and master that skill. See, somebody will get in 3 months, somebody will get in 6 months, and somebody may take an year to get. It is the individual journey. Nobody in the career later, they will ask, okay, how many months did you take to get a job?
Yeah.
At the end, what it matters is, are you becoming a good engineer? Are you becoming a good skilled engineer who can go and build products and solve complex problems? Because in a long career, the college you came from, how much marks you got, how much you scored in your tests, how many months you took to get your first job, none of these matter.
Yeah.
At the end, what matters is the skills that you acquire. So I know that if I tell them that they don't take stress, I'll be wrong. This is the most stressful period in life. You have to learn to absorb that stress and deal with it. My only suggestion is don't get randomized. Don't get randomized and don't get into FOMO and all. Because see, we all are individually, everybody is skilled differently and our abilities are different.
Exactly.
So something I may take 1 month to learn and pick up, and I may take 1 year to learn and pick up, and somebody may pick it up for 3 months, right?
Yeah.
So it just depends on the individual, and don't get really into FOMO. And the last but not the least, the parents thing. Like, don't think that you are a burden to them.
Right.
Pick the right skill and get placed.
All the non-IT people, it may be people from various branches like mechanical, electrical, civil, chemical, they want to jump into IT. Why? Because they feel like, yeah, this is a job where I can just sit in an AC and type 2-3 words and then I get a payment kind of thing. And they don't want to go into the same thing. Like their course, like say, a civil engineer doesn't want to go onto the field and work over there. They feel like, okay, this is something like a very white collar job where I have to sit in AC and I have to do a call, Teams call, I can do work from home. So what is the advice would you give to these kind of people?
This is a tough question. And this is my perspective, okay? I know that I'll be judged for what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
So what is happening is, a lot of the time, the way we choose our engineering branch, right? It is not basically what we want to do. So somebody looks at the college name, somebody looks at proximity to their house, somebody sees where the friend is going.
Yeah.
And all of this leads to choosing some particular branch. And in India, at least say last 10-20 years, a lot of job opportunities were created in IT. And as you rightly said, there are good perks, good lifestyle, and lot of interesting, attractive things, so that people got gravitated towards it. So it is not very easy that you do mechanical or any other branch of engineering and then you do 1 month, 2 month course and you become a software engineer, right? But then in the software industry, the spectrum of jobs are, the variety or the kind of jobs there are available in IT industry is too wide. There are some jobs where you will be taught something and you have to repeat the same, like you have to click those buttons or use those tools and you have to just do that repetitive task. You have to do that manually because they have been not able to invest in automation, or automating it is slightly complicated. That is why it has remained manual. Now there are such jobs as well. Now there are some jobs where you may not pick up skill in 2 months, it may take 6 months, but again it is more like repetitive and same kind of skill, right? Then there is third category, which is like, designing, building, creative and more advanced skills. So somebody can start, they may say that, okay, I'll just do this course and start with these repetitive tasks. And I have seen some example where they start the career, they start getting say 30 to 50 or even sometimes 70, 80K. But after 4-5 years, they see that it is not growing proportionately.
Okay.
They are stuck in their career. And 4-5 years, they have started getting bored with that work. And then they quit this job and start something very different. So that's why you see all these, once in a while we all read newspaper articles, right? A software engineer starting another business. I am not saying that is bad. It is just that it took them slightly longer to figure out that they don't want to do this work. And because of all those choices and decisions they made along the way. If you are asking me, can an electrical or mechanical engineer, can they be a good software engineer? The answer is yes. But my earlier managers in IT industry, many of them were not from computer science background, because the computer science seats used to be like really limited. So according to me, the computer science can be learned and those skills can be picked up. It is just that the person has to really enjoy that work. And entire computer science course from IITs and MIT and Stanford, all of those are available freely on YouTube. Whether person is willing to invest time, and there are some 8-9 subjects that they have to master. Data structures, algorithms, operating system, computer science fundamentals, software engineering, networking. So the bunch of foundational subjects that they have to master and practice coding. So if they do that, anybody can become software engineers. In fact, I'll tell you, there are many countries where they don't even need you to have a degree, like an engineering degree to hire. There are many, I have read news where companies are hiring people without degrees. So the degree is not mandatory. The skill is mandatory. So if they acquire skill and knowledge, then of course they can get a job.
This is not available in Microsoft. Why? Because I can see Tesla and Facebook has this things. A degree doesn't matter, but you pass the exam or something, and then they get completely hired, irrespective of the degree. Is it in Microsoft, or there is no any chance?
So generally this trend is available right now for exceptional people. So somebody has built a company, somebody has built an interesting app. So these exceptional people have this across the board. It has not become normalized. It is not like we have a job opening that it doesn't have any filtration criteria. We haven't reached that stage yet. So I am not suggesting people don't join engineering and try this. I am saying if you have that capacity and you are you are really exceptionally good right now, world respects it. It takes some more years, I think, to become more streamlined. Mainline, come into the main norm. So right now, since there are many applications, right? Many people. So degree becomes one filter. Then your CGPA becomes a second filter. Then the interviews becomes the third filter. So that is how they try to filter out people.
I guess we have covered most of the things, and a huge box of knowledge has been poured in this podcast, I guess. So we'll be covering many podcasts as such with Mahesh sir. And stay tuned on Mediaa to get knowledge about Algorithm 365. And thank you, sir, for coming on our podcast.